for this meeting today. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop the communication and the leadership skill, resulting the greater self-confidence and personal growth. As a protocol of Toastmasters International, you are requested to keep away 3 types of topics: some, sex, religion, and politics during the meeting. Further, I requested to every one of you to switch off your mobile phones or put them to silent mode to avoid the distraction. Also, you are requested to sit comfortably until you are called. With this note, I call our Toastmaster Deepak to the dais for the opening.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
So, in the absence of our President and the VP Education, today I will be the one who will be opening the meeting. So, with this, I announce that the meeting number 160 to be open. And I have a small announcement that on 18th of August, we have our club officers training, which will be held at Cochin in Cornish Road, Abu Dhabi. So all the EXCO members are to be it's mandatory for them to attend the meeting. And if any of the club members are interested, you also can attend the meeting. The meeting starts at 8:30 in the morning on 18th, that is on Friday, and it gets over by 12:10. So it basically gives us a training on all the EXCO club member roles, club officers roles. So you will have an idea, for all the club members, you will have an idea about what are the roles and responsibilities of each of the members and EXCO members of each club. So if any other members are interested to attend the meeting, you are also welcome. So that's all. Now I invite our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster DTM P.O. Anthony, to proceed with you.
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
It's my pleasure being with you today because I'm rejoining after break. I think for last 3 meetings I could not attend if I am not mistaken. Right?
Yeah.
So, first of all, how is this venue compared to our previous the full lines? Continue with this?
Full lines is better.
On what basis?
Location.
And
Not just that.
Location.
We have a, feel that it is a podium, where it's a stage.
It's more professional meeting room.
And it's,
But this one meets the requirement, the minimum requirement.
I'll tell you, I'm not supporting Samajam, that's a different story. Economically speaking, this is much more beneficial for us.
That's true.
So one thing, and every time when we have something special, if we want to go for a bigger venue, downstairs we have got another one where we can accommodate 200, 300 members. And if you want bigger one, we have got one with 1,000 participants where we can accommodate. So, and this has got more of access, like if you want to do something, whereas the money matters or whatever it may be. So I feel this is much more comfortable venue as far as our meeting is concerned. It's true that it is a bit far, and when you say it's in area, like industrial area, we can't compare it with where we had this opportunity to be in full hands. So in my opinion, personal opinion, this is far better. I don't know. So if you want to go back, we can go back. Or if you want to continue, we can continue again.
Go back is an option. So footline.
Of course, see, we can think of it.
No, we need to actually check up because the renovation.
So renovation, see, they will not 365 days they will not keep it shut. It's a business for them.
The rumor from that the hotel management
No,
change.
there is
The management is getting changed, some issues are going on, and they will set it up.
Let them reopen, then we will consider. So we are not closing.
Because we made an agreement with Samajam that at least we'll be here 1 year. That's one thing. And recently we'll have carriers also having here meetings on Saturdays.
I think that we can have a discussion in the EXCOM.
Anyway, so that's not the criteria now. So first of all, I think we will go through the agenda, then we will get into the other side of the business. I think everybody has got the agenda now? So, before going through the agenda, I can see two new faces as far as I am concerned. Can you just introduce, I think some of them are new again. Can you just introduce yourself? Can you please come forward and introduce your name and how did you come to Toastmasters, please?
Good evening, all of you.
Good evening.
This is my second section. And, my name is Naufal, and I'm working as an accountant. It's an iCard. It's one of the private company. And I have heard about it in the rest of my friends only about the Toastmasters. That's all. Everybody is knowing.
Okay, great. So what's your plan to join?
Yeah, I will
Continue. Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Abbas. I'm also coming from Mussafah. I'm working as a technician in a medical equipment company. Here actually our second class. I also hear from actually we want to just improve ourselves and just experience some experience from your side and communicate. So that we will improve ourselves. That's what we do. So thank you very much for this time.
We all started like you all. To be precise, 6 years back, I started my journey introducing myself that I'm P.O. Anthony, I'm glad to share all this, so and so. And I started like now, it's almost 6 years. But what makes a difference now, if I can confidently speak to you, standing in front of this podium, is the consistency. Don't give up. You will have ups and downs in your life. That is inevitable. You can never change. But don't give up your hope. You work for your goals, work for the objectives. You will succeed. We will be talking about our goals. Now, the theme of the meeting. What is the theme of the meeting?
My personal
What do you understand from that?
Is it an intention?
Wait. Okay, no, he's going to tell me. Okay, what do you understand from that?
about like your journey through life and.
So I think you all have taken it wrong.
Personal, there is a.
Exactly. What is the spelling of personal?
Body of
Here,
persons or
You are in Google. So this personal means the people who is working in a company or a staff, my subordinates. So I'm not talking about myself here. Okay, I'm talking about myself, but including us. I mean, a group of people.
Including the team.
So this is my personal story. It's not that personal story. Only one person asked me when I submitted this email. Jamal called me and said, "Is it a mistake or with a purpose?" I said, "This is the purpose." Because if you go through my email, the email I started with the setbacks, the mishaps happened in my office when I came back after my vacation. When I came back after my vacation on 1st of this month, I had 50 of my subordinates lost jobs, including our general manager, our automotive division general manager lost his job. And today, again, one of the general manager lost his job in a different division. So, but in my division, the wave was not reached that side. It is coming. It has come to our gate, but it has not entered the compound. Then many of my subordinates came to my office and asked, please, no. So many of them came to me and asked, "Sir, what is going to happen?" I know what is going to happen. Because we have a group new HR manager, and he is being taken into our system with a target of 30% staff reduction. So we all know what is going to happen. Senior level people, many of them asked me. Then I asked, what makes you different from others? If you are different from others, you are in. But if you are one among the crowd, you are out. This is where we need to stand up. I lost my job being a workshop manager in Liberty Automotive, and I was having 110 people working under me. Company took a decision that because we all enjoyed that so-called financial crunch in 2008 and 9 before, company took a decision that those who came to mid-senior or senior level, in 3 years' time, they have to go back. It's a fair decision. We don't pick anyone. Then we got a notice, all the department heads got a notice saying, you need to recommend whom all you want to throw. So, my chair I lost. Now I need to write the names from 110, I need to bring it down to 80 or 70. So, how do you take a decision if it comes to you? All of them are working with you for last 2.5 years, and all of them are fairly good. Some of them are slightly better, some of them are bad. But how do you pick them? Everybody has got their own personal problem, families, kids, wife, parents back home. How do you choose someone? How do you take a decision? When it comes to your table, that out of 10, pick 3 to terminate. How do you take a decision? I learned lesson. We need to have something special within us. When someone compare A and B, they need to make it out. A is better than B, or B is far better than A. So this is what I mentioned about personal story. Because in Almoso Guru still is going on. Today what I heard is Continental General Manager lost his job. So it's coming up, no problem. Maybe, and as you all know, our Abhilash, our VP Education, he lost his job. So I'm also working for the same industry. So he's trying, we are trying, he's not, maybe hopefully we will get a job. So that's why he's not coming for this. So this is not personal story, but it is personal, a group of people's story. Now, let's go back to our agenda. Let's introduce our role players. So can I request our general evaluator, Toastmaster Vivek, and again before I call Vivek, it's my apology, it's not Vivek Ayappan, it's Vivek Ayappan, okay? Sorry for the mistake. Okay. Can I request you to come be on stage to introduce your role players?
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
My role is to evaluate the meeting in general. I will call for report from speech evaluators, timer, grammarian and accountant. Next I will comment on quality of evaluation given by evaluators of the prepared speeches, the table topics and entirely the meeting. Over to you. Thank you.
So next is our timer. Timer, there is a small correction. It is supposed to be Rajesh Kaur, but Toastmaster Rashid is replacing Rajesh Kaur since he has not come yet. Toastmaster Rashid, please. Let us appreciate for their work when they come here.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My role as a timer is to monitoring time during prepared speeches, table topics and evaluations. At the end of the meeting, I will report the times of each participant. This will let you know if you delivered your presentation within the allocated time frame. On you. Thank you.
So I think the guest, you have seen how the timing machine was last time, right? So next is our accountant, Toastmaster Sanil Haridas. Please.
Toastmaster evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, everyone here.
Good evening.
Today my role as a accountant is to keep a track of all the words and sounds used as a crutch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks during the meeting. That will be all the speakers, evaluators, or anyone who speaks in this today's meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections, such as and, well, but, so, like, you know, and the sounds may be and I'll be giving a report after the end of today's meeting.
Next is our table topic master, Toastmasters Sulfikar. Can you please explain your role?
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Good evening.
Good evening.
It is my privilege and pleasure to become the table topic master for the today's meeting. As a table topic master, it is my duty to bring some topic. I already got some topics, and the participants will have to deliver a speech within the time frame. The subject is this is also one fun portion of the meeting, and it allows every member, including our guests, can also participate in the table topic session. The great part of the table topics is there is no criteria for the speech. There is no criteria for any criteria. And the benefit of the table topic is it will improve our impromptu speaking skills, and also it may help in our professional life also. The time and other rules will be announced during my session.
In fact, table topic, I consider table topic is the most exciting thing which happens in a Toastmasters meeting as far as I am concerned, because I do not know what I want to talk about. I do not know what the subject I will be talking about. So let's have a fun in having table topic. Now, let me introduce the Word Master and Grammarian, Toastmaster Ajit Devasi.
Good evening. Today, I am doing two rules. The first role is a word master. I will introduce a new word to all of you. Word of the day is reiterate. Its meaning is say something again or a number of times, typically for emphasis or clarity. Example is she reiterated that the government would remain steadfast in its support. Synonyms are repeat, say again, register, reiter, extra. So I would request all of you to use this word in your speeches today. During this meeting, I will make a list of everyone who uses this word, and end of the meeting, I will give you a report. My second duty as grammarian, I will listen to everyone's word usage for any awkward or misuse of English language. This can be incomplete sentence or some sort of grammar mistake. So I will report these occasions at the end of the meeting. I will also offer some constructive suggestions for correct usage. Over to you.
Next is our quiz master, Toastmaster Arun Maniyandan. On double roll, he started the meeting. Now he is coming on quiz master.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Fellow professor,
Good evening.
my role as a quiz master job is to listen carefully to all the speakers and note down some questions from the content and in speeches, table topic, replies, etc. The purpose is to work on one listening skill, promote the importance of those, and have the report will submit at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Welcome, Toastmaster Jamal. I think, I will not call someone to come and crack a joke. I will call Toastmaster Jamal after break to explain what happened, why he is late today. So before that, let me invite Toastmaster Puran Roy to give the thought of the day. Please.
Toastmaster evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening.
Good evening.
How many of us had moral science as a subject in our school? Yes, I was not the only one. These days, there's no moral science in most of our curriculum. Moral science basically talked about morals, talked about how to be honest, how to not tell lies, how to respect your others, talked about hygiene. It also, I think, helped contain stories about people who contributed to society, like Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa. Very inspiring story. Many years ago, we had an ex-student gathering in my school. We were meeting after 7, 8 years. We had all doing different jobs, following different careers. So during a conversation I was having with one of my classmates, I found that we had something in common. Both of us were not happy with the way we were progressing with our job. So he told me, the reality is, you see how people just to progress, just to advance their career, they will cut corners, they will fake documents, they will cook up figures. Yet these are the people who are progressing, they are overtaking us. But me, when I have to make a decision, if I find it unethical, dishonest, I cannot do it. It's probably because of the moral science that was drilled on our head during our school days. I agreed with him. So today, when I reflect on my past, I think about the choices I made. I think I did not do anything unethical. I did not do anything dishonest. So I can at least move with my head held high. Because in this competitive world, where success at any cost is the mantra, you see so many casualties around. Every day there are different scandals you come to hear about. Enron, Satyam, Kingfisher, Volkswagen, you name it. All these successful people, instead of spending their retired life with the family on the beaches, you're spending their life behind bars. It's easy to do. Our future generation, our children, in this competitive world, have a choice to make. There's a thin line dividing between what is being dishonest and what is being smart. So we need some kind of guidance for them so they do not fall in the trap. So I feel moral science is an important tool that will help them make the correct choices. So I think, I reiterate that moral science should be reintroduced in our schools today so that the future generation, the future citizens of our country will have high moral standards. Over to you.
A good thought for this evening. Let me also reiterate the moral values and ethics are always has got great contribution to the success towards our journey. Now, can I invite Toastmasters Jamal? Why did you come late today? Don't feel bad.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'm so glad to see you again after my leave. Well,
Me too.
only thing, technology did not help this at this time. I lost my way at all using Google Maps. So I had to stop my car somewhere, which, believe me, I don't know where is my car right now. I keep on walking. So I asked a few people, finally.
Really?
Yeah. That's like,
We went to our old Samajam building, maybe 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers away from this place. And the best thing, I have shared this location map with everyone, except our treasurer, because he's not using one. Right? So, I'm not trying to put Toastmasters Jamal down. I know him personally, so I know he will not take it very seriously. Because, see, why don't we give importance to the ideas that we are supposed to use? I have shared the location map. And I know it's not easy to find this place. I lost this place many times when I used to come here at the beginning. So, now let us again go back to our serious business. Let me share one more story, an actual story which has happened during the year 2009 in Dubai. I know many of these customers might not heard of it. In a company, they had to reduce so much of their staff strength, and they had to remove so many of their senior people, and from juniors to seniors. And they decided, it was a good company, they decided to give them a grand farewell, a grand send-off in a big venue, including the chairman present. And chairman announced, any one of you, those who are going out from this company, any one of you want to come to the stage and speak about your career, the years that you spent in this company, you are welcome. Many came forward. They all congratulated the company for giving the opportunity and many things. Many of the seniors came. And at the end, one of the most junior. One gentleman came from the crowd and he came to the stage. And see, whereas the others, they were sad when they were talking about the company because they lost the job. But this gentleman, he came to the stage and he congratulated the chairman and the owner of the company for giving an opportunity for him to start his career in Dubai and for giving an opportunity to be there for this many years with them. And he never used a negative attitude towards the loss of his job. And he was appreciating his management, the owner, and all his subordinates for the growth he could make out in his life being in that company. And after the meeting, the chairman inquired who was that person. Next day, he made a message to that person to meet him in his office. And he was taken back to the company with a promotion. That message spread around, and a lot of people asked him, where did you get this courage to talk about this company and talk about you in front of this crowd? Because he used to be a Toastmaster. It's a true story. Because this story I heard from Dubai in one of the meetings when I went there. This is what happened. Now, you want to be, again I am asking the same question, whether you want to be one among the crowd or you want to be someone with a specific difference. So, this is the place to be. Now you know why, Mr. Jamal, you know the theme, why I wrote my personal story, right? He's the only person who asked me, what is this personal story? Is it a spelling mistake or something else? So I did it with a purpose. Now, as per the agenda, we have got 3 speakers, but Toastmaster Rashid is not well prepared, so he has agreed that he will do his presentation on next meeting. So we have 2 speakers. So before we get into the speeches, can I ask Toastmaster Rashid, can you just tell me the rules for the time?
Good evening, everybody, once again.
Good evening.
For each prepared speeches, the green light will be on after the 5 minutes. Then after 6 minutes, the yellow light will be on. After 7 minutes, the red light will be on. And red light will be continue take the speeches winding up. Okay.
Thank you. Now, the first speaker is Toastmaster Malayalee. Before I call Toastmaster Malayalee, can I ask Toastmaster John Thomas to read out the objectives of this speech, project number 7, Toastmaster John.
Toastmaster of the evening, fellow members, honorable guests, Toastmaster Malayalee in particular. Toastmaster Malayalee will be delivering his 7th project, Research Your Topic, and the objectives of this project as per the manual is collect information about your topic from numerous sources. Carefully support your points and opinion with specific facts, examples and illustrations gathered through research. The time allocated for the project is 5 to 7 minutes. All the rest Toastmaster Malayalee.
So, has everyone got the paper for choosing the best speaker? Or what is it? And you will see the best assignment. What is the last one? Best. So we used to have, we used to have something called Star of the Day. I put in a different word, with a different word. Best assignment. We have a lot of role players here. Let us see who is the best role player today. Okay? Other than Toastmasters of the evening. Because I am taking the role from beginning till the end. So we have always our counter, weight master, quiz master, table topic master, we have different roles. Let us see who is the best role player. Don't choose again the speakers. Speakers again here we are selecting now. So other than speakers, let us see who is the best role player today. So Toastmaster Malayalee is our area director. I am happy to welcome him to the stage as a speaker. And one more thing, the good news today is, so we have good news and bad news. You want the bad news about him or the good news about him? Bad news. He resigned from his company. So now you want to know the good news? He is joining in a different company with higher position, higher salary, higher package. So let us welcome Toastmaster Malayalee.
GM had a review for the past 6 months, and to tell you, the numbers are not really encouraging. In the next 3 months, if we don't have some improvement, I think we'll see some definitive action. Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, a warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
We encounter stress in our daily life in some way or the other. So I just thought of sharing some of my views and opinion about it. This was just one of the stress which we normally face, all the working force definitely face some or the other time. If you see carefully, in the wake of making a living, we have forgotten to live our life. We are adding days in our life, but not life in our days. So let me just take you quickly through some of the harsh facts about stress. In the year 2013, almost 70% of the workforce in US was suffering from some or the other stress at work. As per World Health Organization, in 21st century, the biggest epidemic is stress. Now this stress causes almost $300 billion loss per year in US. Now in UAE we are not far off. Actually 60% of our workforce experience stress in some or the other form. 20% of this workforce who experience stress go through diabetes or some or the other sort of heart ailments. 20% of these working force who are experiencing stress and who are married end up in a divorce. In US again, 48% of the people workforce who are experiencing stress experience that sleepless nights. 35% of the people encounter their work stress in their daily personal life or family life. 50% of the people experienced clash with their near ones and dear ones. There are few other symptoms, physical symptoms and psychological symptoms. You can see. These are few of those. Now let's actually understand before we go for this stress management. Actually, we cannot isolate or remove stress completely from our life. At the max, what we can do is cope up with it. Stress is basically the reaction of our body for a particular pressure or threat. Our body releases a lot of stress hormones which readies our body for either a fight or a flight situation. Like strengthening of the muscles, increase in the heartbeats, increase in the blood pressure. These are all actions which our body makes it in order for us to be ready for that fight or flight situation. Now there are various stimulus that cause this stress. These can be internal as well as external. Now some of the external stressors are major life changes, work or school, difficulties in relationships, financial problems, being too busy, children, family, all these contribute to some of the other stress. Now internal stresses related to our own thought process can be being too much pessimist, inability to accept certainty, rigid thinking, unrealistic expectation, all or nothing attitude. Now these are all the different types of stresses. Now always stresses are not bad. We also, the stress also enables us to increase our concentration, increase our preparation to get raised in the life. For example, if you get a lottery or you get a better work, definitely you would be happier, it makes you much more responsible, and you are elevated in your life. Similarly, on the other hand, the bad stress actually takes us down, makes our performance poor. It also suppresses the immune system of our body, upsets the digestive and reproductive systems. Now, what are the signs and symptoms of stress? These can be classified in 4 categories: cognitive, emotional, physical, and behavioral. We will not go much into these. Now, stress management. I would like to reiterate that in order to manage the stress, it is important for us to know, are we really experiencing the stress? Now, this stress management can be done in 4 different steps. First one is basically to understand if we are really stressed. Identify the stressor, identify the reason of the stressor, and finally choose your stress buster. If I have to give you a few examples, let's say every one of us wants his or her kid to be in one of the best schools in the Abu Dhabi. What if you don't get an admission over there? We are stressed. Don't do that. That's not the end of life. Have choices. If not the first place, maybe the second. Definitely, it is not the one which you should be keeping on thinking about. More on life. Thomas Edison, he didn't go any school. We are experiencing Thomas Edison in our daily life. Same thing. If everybody wants to work in one of the best MNCs, what if we don't get a work in that? Life has to go on. Have some choices, have some options. Now, what are the various stress management techniques? Have a deep breath, laugh and leave the child in you. Learn to say no, be thankful, relax, do time management, change your lifestyle, and have a good sleep. These are some of the stress busters which will help us cope up with our stress. They do not eliminate it. In case we are not able to come out of it, there are some medical treatments as well which we can go through. And in the end, I would only like to say, stop stressing and start living. Over to you.
So let me reiterate again, the time is past to continue as a wandering generality. Let us try to be a meaningful specific in our life, to be successful. Now, let us invite our second speaker. Before that, the timing rule remains the same. So, Toastmaster Deepak is the second speaker and he is being evaluated by Toastmaster Jamal. Toastmaster Jamal, can you read out the objectives of speech number 3 by Toastmaster Deepak?
Toastmaster of the evening for the Toastmasters, and in particular Toastmaster Deepak Joseph. Deepak is going to do his project number 3 of the CC manual. And the objectives of this project are: select a speech topic and determine its general and specific purposes. Organize the speech in a manner that best achieves those purposes. Ensure the beginning, body, and conclusion reinforce the purposes. Project sincerity and conviction and control any nervousness you may feel. Strive not to use notes. Time allocated 5 to 7 minutes. Good luck.
So let us welcome Toastmaster Deepak on stage to deliver his project number 3.
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
And yes, today I'm going to tell you a story which I have been reading in many places over and over again. The title of the story is The Buddha and the Homeless Man. Has anyone of you heard of the story before?
Buddha
the homeless man.
Homeless man.
Right. So one day, a homeless man used to live in the streets, begging and gathering food for his daily survival. Slowly he started noticing that his food is getting reduced, even though he is storing it daily. It is not increasing, it is always remaining constant. So he understood that someone is stealing the food from him, what he's trying to gather for his survival. He found the thief was a small mouse, and he asked the mouse, "Why are you stealing it from me? I'm a poor beggar. I don't even have a home. Why don't you steal for the rich people? They don't even notice if the food is gone." And the mouse replied, saying that it is in your destiny that how much ever you beg, how much ever you gather, you will not be able to gather more than 8 items in your possession. And the homeless man was surprised. He was like, "Why? Why is it in my destiny?" And the mouse replied, "I don't know. You should ask the Buddha." So the curious homeless man started his journey to find out the reason why it is in his destiny. So he started travel to meet Buddha, and his travel reached at night, and he found a place to stay. Luckily, one of the wealthy family was passing through his place, and they invited him over to stay overnight. And they asked, where are you going at this late night? And he told that I'm going to meet the Buddha. And the homeless people told, the wealthy people told, "Can you do me a favor? Can you ask one question for Buddha from outside? We have a 16-year-old kid. She's not able to speak. Can you ask Buddha what we can do to make her speak?" The next day, the homeless man thanked the wealthy people and he continued his journey. Then he faced another hurdle in his journey. He reached a sea of mountains, and he climbed one mountain. And to his luck, there was a wizard over there. Wizard means a magician. So the wizard helped him to cross the sea of mountains using his staff. Staff means a magic wand. And the wizard asked him the same question, "Where are you going?" The homeless man replied, "To meet the Buddha." So the wizard requested him to ask one question from his behalf. "I'm trying to go to heaven for almost 1,000 years. It is as per my teachings. I should be in heaven by right now. Can you tell me can you ask Buddha what I should be doing to ascend to heaven?" So the homeless man thanks him and continues his journey. Then again, one more hurdle is coming up. That is actually a river which he is not able to swim. He is not able to cross because he doesn't know swimming. So the turtle comes to his next, the big one. The turtle is almost 500 years old, and the turtle asked, during the journey, turtle asked the same question, "Where are you going?" He said to meet Buddha. The turtle also has a question which has to be asked to Buddha. That is, according to my teachings, according to turtle's teaching, he should be becoming a dragon by this time. The turtle wants to know what has to be done to become a dragon. So the homeless man takes all these 3 questions along with him, and he go to meet the Buddha. So he finally reaches the destination, and there are a lot of people who are waiting to meet the Buddha. So the Buddha announced, "I will answer 3 questions from each and every one of you, but only 3 questions." So the homeless man was shocked and confused because he has 4 questions. One is his own question, and the 3 questions from all the other people who helped him with the question. So the homeless man thought, the wizard, he is being living in the world for 1,000 years trying to reach heaven. And the turtle is trying to become dragon for 500 years. And the girl would not be able to talk for her rest of her life if there is no solution to it. So when he looked into those questions and those difficulties, he realized that his problem is very trivial. He's a homeless man. He can go back to his own life and he can beg. and continue his previous lifestyle. So he decided, he felt bored for that, and he decided to ask those 3 questions of the people who helped him, and he went and asked the Buddha. The Buddha told the turtle is not willing to leave its shell. That's the reason he is not able to transform to a rabbit. And the wizard, he is not letting go of the staff. Staff is acting as an anchor, and that is the reason why he is not able to go to hell. And about the wealthy person, wealthy family, the daughter will be able to speak when she meets her soulmate. So with this answers in his hand, the homeless man continues baptism. So he meets the turtle first, and he informs that you have to leave the shell, only you become dry. So the turtle leaves the shell, and inside the shell, there were many precious pearls and jewelry from the depths of oceans. So he gives all the jewelry to the homeless man. He tells him, I don't need them, because I'm a traveler. And he flies away. Then he continues the journey with all the wealth to meet the wizard, and the wizard, he informs the wizard what Buddha has informed. And the wizard hands him over the staff and tells him, I don't need them, because this is the reason why I'm not able to go. And the wizard ascends to heaven. So with the wealth and the power in his hand, the homeless man continues his journey with the wealthy family. When he reached the wealthy home, and the girl comes from the second floor to the ground floor, asks the parents, is this the man who was here a week before? The parents were shocked because the girl is able to talk. Then they realized it is because, as Buddha told, the girl has met a soulmate. So in this story, we learn a lot of lessons. So as per few of the lessons which I can tell you this. 1. Let's take the example of the turtle. You should leave your comfort zone to reach a much higher or reach greatness. Turtle becomes a dragon when he left his comfort zone of the shell. If you live to help others, there is a high probability that you will be all the goodness you do in this world, and all that it will come back to you in multiple forms. So you should always be willing to help others. And there are many people who are not as fortunate as ours. So we should always be able to help others. And the third lesson which I personally has took from this is to achieve the greatness, as I told, let's take the example of the wizard. There's always, he was having the anchor of the staff, which was his, the weight. So we should be willing to let go of the weight of the past, or the weight which holds us down, to go to a much higher level, much greater location or existence. With this, I reiterate that all the good in the world, what we do, will come to us in multiple forms, and the universe will make sure that we get prepared for it. And I wish you all a very wonderful life.
A great speech and a great story, and a lot of things to learn from. Now, can I ask our timer to read out the time that they have consumed for the speeches today?
Good evening, once again.
Good evening.
Toastmaster Mallikarjun took 7 minutes 9 seconds, while Toastmaster Deepak Joseph took 9 minutes 15 seconds. 9. Toastmaster Mallikarjun qualified for voting.
Thank you. It's again a lesson. Now we all enjoyed the storytelling, right? But it's a learning point for all of us how to tell a story within the time frame. So it's a lesson for Toastmasters, but I don't want to elaborate because we have our evaluator to talk about. I'm just making a statement, okay? Now, let me ask you a question to everybody. How many of you have got specific goals in your life, like where you want to be in another 5 years' time? You can raise your hand if you have. I have one. I'll raise my hand with all my strength. I will. I can stand out and say, I have something in my life. I'm working on it. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Say 5. That's it. Unless you know where you want to go, how will you reach there? Again, I'm asking you. Unless you know where you want to go, how will you reach there?
Destiny will take you.
No. Those days are gone.
Begin with the L in mind.
Those days are gone. Wake up. You need to have specific goals in your life.
Smart goals.
Smart goals or whatever you call it as. You need to tell yourself that in 2020, I want to retire from this job and with all the financial freedom in my life. How many of you can say that? That's what I am working for. I have written in my mind, in another 2 years' time, I will leave all this work in Middle East with the financial freedom. I will have my own organization where I can at least employ hundreds of people. For the last 4 years, I am working for that. I started as a technician in my life from Oman, 22 years back. I climbed the ladder. After that, I continued my studies. Even now I am studying, I am doing my doctorate. It's not a job. And with all this, I am telling you, I have goals in mind. I have set goals. And I learned it from my parents. My father taught me this. And so many things has taught me, and including this Toastmasters journey has helped me to be here. Today, I am least bothered if I lose my job. I can still manage. I'm not talking high about myself. I have faced all these hurdles in my life. I lost my job. And to your knowledge, I've been under the custody of police for 24 hours for something which I have never done in my life. It's all part of life. I never gave up. Our thought of the day, Toastmaster Puran was talking about ethics, moral values of our life. He was talking about the stress, and our Deepak was talking about what was the conclusion? Lessons. How are you dealing your life, day-to-day life in your life? How day-to-day, activities? Are you taking it granted, or you have a goal where you want to go? It's becoming like a mechanism. We wake up in the morning, alarm rings, we wake up in the morning, wife cooks for us or someone else. For bachelors, we have somewhere or other, we have our food on table, we eat, go back to office, evening comes, come back, have some fun, cup of beer or a coffee, sleep, again the same thing. I had a time being a bachelor. I started every day, every first day of my week, targeting the weekend, because weekend is the best day for the bachelors in Kerala. I used to be like that. Every day we come, okay, Sunday is gone, Monday, Tuesday. By the time you are on Wednesday, you start enjoying, you start programming your weekend activities. It's true, we all need that. Like stress, we have stress in our life. I have a way of managing my own stuff, my family stuff. I am a family man with 2 kids and a wife. 2 kids, both of them are studying here. At least every 6 months, once in 6 months, we just go out, we switch off our mobile and we go out somewhere in Fuji or Rasul Kema, we take a hotel and stay there. We don't talk too much of them, we don't talk to anybody, we just leave the kids, they go to the pool and enjoy. I take a couple of beer, shisha, cigarette, whatever I want. Wife, they enjoy with the fruits and food. 2 days, we relax. Again we come back. Another 6 months, again I am piled up with the problem, again we switch it to the same. I have my own way of managing the stress. What are we doing? Are we all doing nothing here? As I said, try to have a goal in your life. Start dreaming about your retirement. Spending your time with your wife on the beaches. Otherwise you will never ever lead a successful life. Now let's go back to the next serious section. Let us see what is the evaluators got to talk about our speakers. Can we have a timing rule about our evaluators?
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
Each evaluation speakers will have 3 minutes. After 2 minutes, green light will be on. After 2.5 minutes, yellow light will be on. After 3 minutes, red light will be on. And it will continue until you wind up. Thank
So
you.
they can speak up to 3.5, right? 3 minutes 30 seconds.
30 seconds more, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now let's welcome the first evaluator, Toastmaster John, who is going to evaluate Toastmaster Malayalee. Please.
Toastmaster of the evening, fellow members, guests, Toastmaster Malayalee in particular. Toastmaster Malayalee was delivering his project number 7, research topic, and the topic was he has picked up is stress management. He has reiterated the speech has reiterated the fact that he is an excellent speaker and an asset to Mussafah Toastmasters Club. As per the objective, there are 3 main objectives of this speech. One is pick up a subject which is of importance to the audience, collect information from numerous sources, and support your points with facts, examples, and illustrations. He has more or less done justice to all the stated objectives of this speech, and he has really given an excellent speech today. The most important thing is the subject he has picked up, which is very relevant today and for all of us, because stress is something which every one of us face in our day-to-day life. So he has successfully picked up an excellent topic for his speech today, and he has organized it really well. If you look at the speech as a whole, he has opened it beautifully. He has enacted a scenario all of us might face in our office as your boss talking to you. That opening has really caught our attention and grabbed our attention, and all of us were glued to the rest of his speech. So he has successfully opened the speech, and the organization is started with the harsh facts of stress. There are a lot of information, a lot of percentages, a lot of facts, figures, and continued with the definition of stress, reasons for stress, and the management, effective management of stress. And he has concluded it with an action point. He has given some real life examples of stress situations, how to manage it successfully. Overall, it was an excellent speech, but a couple of shortcomings which I noticed as the sources. When you talk about facts and figures, you need to mention about the actual source. Where did you gather this information from? I did not see anything. You could give some link, some site link or somewhere where you have gathered this information from. So the actual source was missing, and the delivery, I don't think it was up to my expectation.